Really strange. I'm not going to lie how weird and strange that was. Uh, what was also strange about the fight was Rumble continually trying to take down Daniel Cormier, continually initiating the clinch on Daniel Cormier. There's like transcripts from what his corner was saying during the fight. The entire fight, they're yelling at him, get away, make space, move your hands, throw your hands, throw your hands. He did a little bit, and he looked good when he threw his hands, and he threw a lot of kicks to the body. A high kick, Daniel like ducked over to the right at the same time that Rumble was throwing a left kick. It might even been going to the body, but since Cormier was so low, it actually square in the face and smashed Cormier's nose, like straight up broke the shit out of Cormier's nose, smashed it in. It looked like it was like indented. Cormier, though, was a bad motherfucker. I mean, he survived that. Wrestled the shit out of Rumble. Rumble actually did take him down, I think, 2 times or something like that. But Cormier got back up immediately. Cruz was even saying that he was actually doing that to wear Rumble out, letting him take him down, just to burn him out and stuff like that. I think that's probably true if Cruz was saying it. Yeah, so I mean, the first round was actually maybe a little bit even. Cormier didn't land a whole lot. Maybe Rumble even did win the first round. It's kind of tough to tell, but definitely a strange round where he did not throw his hands much at all. The end of the round, he was just clinching. He was just shooting a double leg on Cormier. I mean, the whole time Henry Hooft his coach is yelling at him, get distance. We're talking to each other. What is he doing? What is going on? This is I think the transcript said, like, this is strange, like 1,000 times. They even kind of, in the second round, towards right before the point where he got taken down for that final time, they kind of had, like, even just retreated to almost giving up. Just like, what the hell is going on here? This is ridiculous. They were saying, like, stuff like that. Second round comes out, basically the same thing. In between rounds in the corner, they're asking him the same. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Don't do that. Listen to us. Let your hands go. No kicks. They didn't want kicks. They wanted him to just plant. Throw some fucking poundings, and they wanted him to fucking rumble, man. That's who the fuck he was. 3 straight KO punches, victories. This is who he is. He almost did it last time. Either way, he basically tries to initiate some more clinching and stuff like that. Does let some hands go a little bit and looks pretty damn good when he does it. Cormier, definitely doesn't want to exchange with him. Ends up initiating a clinch back, takes him down, pretty easily gets to his back, like real quick. It wasn't like a long thing. And then submits him with a rear naked choke, hand over the forehead even, not like a true rear naked choke. But just like I don't even know what you call it, but like a one arm basically rear naked choke, submits him. He taps. While that's going on, his corner, Henry Hooft, they're saying something like oh my God, it happens every time. Why does this happen every time? Shit like that. And at the end of the day, the fight was basically the exact same fight, minus, as far as like the time, the fashion, the style of finish, all of that was almost the exact same as it happened before, which is strangely ironic, especially considering the rest of the fight was so much different than the fight before. And if you remember, Cormier actually said that all he needs to do is be able to survive 7 minutes with Rumble, and Rumble will burn out after 7. And then Cormier will be able to have his way with him. And if you look at it, the submission happened 8.5 minutes into the fight. I think there's a pretty fair argument that, Rumble did fade at about 7.5 minutes. And then Cormier picked it up and choked him out. It's really, really unfortunate I think, for Rumble that he didn't go out there and throw his hands. I think that that's just an opportunity. Man, it's really, really sad for everybody, mainly for him, but even for the fans and even for Cormier, because Cormier deserved to be tested that way. Again, he deserved it. It's unfortunate. They were really nice to each other after the fight, though. They both are, you know what I mean? They're both, definitely really, really good guys. And then after the fight, Rumble actually retired. Had a good career, retires in the octagon, comes out with a post, I think yesterday on Twitter saying, he's tired of being Rumble. He just wants to be AJ, just wants to be Anthony Johnson. No more Rumble. But like Rumble Pride forever or something like that, Rumble Boys or some shit. Really sad too. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming either. It makes you wonder if he did say that he wanted to focus, he had another job or another thing he wanted to focus his time on other than MMA. He didn't really specify on what that might be exactly, but you do have to wonder if his head was in that a little bit. Good for him. First of all, good for him for a lot of different reasons. Not the least bit of which him being happy to do what he does and being okay with making the decision that he makes to go and do something else that will make him happy is a pretty fantastic one that not all of us can actually, not all of us can do that. And so, he's made a good amount of money. He's won a lot of fight bonuses and stuff like that. And so I'm happy, and I hope he's successful wherever he goes from here. But yeah, I'm not real sure what it is. I guess that's kind of a surprising retirement. He's only 33, I think, something like that. Cormier is 38. If one of them was going to retire, I don't know. Cormier is a dog, though. Holy shit. Breaking that nose, still coming back to win in a relatively easy fashion. That's super fucking impressive in my book. Fantastic there. Still the champ. 205, Daniel Cormier. Let's bring back Johnny Bones. I want to see that fight real fucking bad. A lot of people actually said, and I would too, that they'd like to see Rumble John Jones, and I would think that would be a good fight too. I want to see Cormier more versus Jones, but that Rumble fight would be pretty sick also. Rumble actually somehow said on his Twitter or something yesterday too, after his retirement, that if Jones was ever the champion, and they've been talking about that fight for a long time, and it sounds like a fun one, yada yada yada, that he may be able to do some sort of a comeback to fight Johnny. But it's a lot of ifs and what ifs and all that shit. So difficult to say anything for sure as far as that's concerned. But that is the main event of the evening. And so we already talked about two controversies surrounding this card, and we haven't even talked about the single by far most controversial fight of the card, or a thing that happened on the card. Co-main event of the evening. Middleweight fight. Gegard Mousasi, Chris Weidman. What in the actual fuck? First round. Weidman looks really good. He's securing takedowns. Gegard doesn't seem to be fighting takedowns too much. That's probably something he needs to work on in the near future. But Weidman's looking good. He's landed some punches. Gegard's landed some punches as well. But Weidman wins the first round. Just good takedowns. I think he has, 2 or 3. Looks really good. Looks explosive. Lands some punches too. He probably landed the better punches in the round, I would say. Looks really good. And looks fast. Lean, looks good. Looks like the old Weidman. Second round comes around, and he's basically trying to employ the same technique. Takedowns, dominating pressure a little bit, but this round is a little more back and forth. Gegard's landed some power punches. He throws 4 straight right uppercuts at one point. I don't know that any of them really landed, but they all had some sort of an effect. hooks. Gegard's looking really good. Long jab. Just covers a lot of space with his strikes, which is great. Great for the distance as far as he's concerned. Looked really good. But it's kind of back and forth. Weidman still landed some punches and getting some quality positioning and shit. He takes down Gegard, and then Gegard kind of rolls, and he gets Gegard's back for a second. And then Gegard kind of slips under, but that was, a pretty good moment for Weidman. And then they go and initiate. They go back into the middle of the ring here, and they're basically initiating in the middle of the octagon. Both of them throwing strikes, and then basically at one point, Chris Weidman shoots a double leg, a really low, pretty shitty looking double leg from a long ways away. He's kind of looking like he's getting a little bit more tired, I would say. Gets pretty easily stuffed, and basically, from north-south position, he basically tries to put both of his hands on the ground to become a downed opponent, like you see people do, so that they can't get kneed in the head. Well, before he gets the first hand really properly down, he gets kneed in the dome, and then so Gegard kind of pulls like a thing where he kind of pulls him up a little bit and knees him. And then, so his left hand is off of the ground, and then like he kind of like clamps back down and puts him back down for that positioning to keep his posture bent, and then immediately does it again, pulls him back up to throw a knee to the face. So after the first knee, Chris does have both hands on the ground. But when he pulls him back up, again, he actually pulls him off to his left, too. Gegard does, his left, which is Chris's right. And he pulls Chris's, right before the knee lands, he pulls Chris's hand, whether intentionally or not, off of his hand comes off of the canvas, and he lands a second knee. Dan Miragliotta, unfortunately, wasn't really at a triangular position, the way that they teach the referees to... The way that they teach the referees, they want you to be able to be non-linear. So the problem with Miragliotta kind of made here is that he was his line of sight was him, Mousasi, and then on the other side of Mousasi was Weidman. So it was somewhat difficult to tell where the hand placement was for Weidman. Whereas if his line of sight would have been on the left Weidman and on the right Mousasi, where he could see them both, it might have been a little bit more clear. But he actually, after the second knee, he came in and stopped the fight for an illegal knee. Not stopped, but paused the fight for an illegal knee. At which point, Chris Weidman is on, he's on his knees, like, doing the whole thing, covering his head, holding his head. God, man, this was shitty. I'll try to wrap this one up somewhat quickly, but he's basically doing that. He sits back on his ass and stuff. At one point, he's like laying down. The UFC, the State Athletic Commission, brings in a doctor. They're doing just the traditional stuff, looking at his eyes, yada yada, having him walk to you, the hand test, hold up your hands and see if you can, provide resistance or whatever. Meanwhile, so you get up to 5 minutes, I guess. So this was clarified on a interview I saw between, Luke Thomas and Herb Dean. You get up to 5 minutes at the discretion of the referee. Most people think that in one of these foul type situations, you get up to 5 minutes at discretion of the fighter, whereas the fighter is the one who says, okay, I need more time, yada, 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 up to 5 minutes. That's actually only apparently true if they're talking about groin shots. If they're talking about any other foul, it's actually at the referee's discretion for different reasons, various reasons. One of them being, maybe it's not a foul, which would be the most important reason why you would want to get the fight started quickly, just so you can get back into position quickly, so that the proper effects would take place. But it is not the fighter's discretion. And this is where a lot of the controversy steps up. apparently, I haven't